One of the most vital elements when it comes to the job search process is that of interviews. Interviews require due preparation. It is said that practice makes perfect. And when it comes to interviews and preparing for interviews, this is absolutely true. Today, I would prefer to share with you certain insights on mock interviews. Mock interviews can help you to prepare for the job search process and enable you to address interviews in a compelling manner. Irrespective of whether you're a first time job seeker, whether you are a working professional who's not been through a job interview since quite some time, or possibly someone who has been evaluating job opportunities from time to time or on a regular basis, regardless of any scenario, mock interviews can be an effective tool for you to prepare and succeed within the interview process. During the early stage of my professional career, I myself have been through mock interviews, and it has actually enabled me or helped me to secure a fabulous job opportunity because it gave me an opportunity to be trained well and to address every question that came my way with full confidence. Now, when it came to mock interviews, or when it comes to mock interviews, what is most important is to identify someone who can support you through the process. So, as I mentioned, I had been through mock interviews at the early phase of my career. This was at a time where I had worked in an organization for more than 3 years and I started looking out for a change. However, I started getting this realization that my interview skills have become rusty for the simple reason that I had not attended interviews for more than 3 years. That's when I came across one of my friends who was also looking out for a job opportunity at that point of time. And we together discussed on this idea as to conduct mock interviews with each other on Saturdays every week. So in fact, he also needed support pertaining to interviews. And that's when we decided that on alternate Saturdays, one Saturday at his place and one Saturday at my residence, we would meet for a few hours and we would undergo mock interviews with one another. So what we did is prepared a list of questions which we would ask one another. So his background is more into finance or focused on finance, whereas mine is general management focused on sales and marketing. So along with some generic questions which most interviewers ask, like what is it that you're currently doing, or tell me more about yourself, why is it that you're looking out for a change presently, what has motivated you to apply to our organization. These are some of the standard questions. So we made a list of all those standard questions, and in addition to that, we also identified certain specific or functional questions which we used to ask each other based on our domain area. Also, what we tried to do is, along with the mock interview process, we also tried to have a simulated scenario. So as you are aware, many a times interview may not go smooth. There are also organizations or interviewers who prefer a stress interview. So we simulated scenarios pertaining to a stress interview where possibly at times an interviewer could be rude or may not even show proper attention to you, or may be distracted, or to the very extent that the interviewer just walks up and leaves the room. So we tried all these scenarios and we knew that many a times we may not have to go through all of it. A recruiter or an interviewer leaving the cabin and going is going to be extremely rare unless you have done something really bad. However, we mentally prepared ourselves for every scenario, and that made us really strong and focused on addressing the interviews to the best of our advantage or best of our capability. So now, along with the list of questions that we prepared or the list of likely questions, we also created pointers in terms of what our responses should be. We did not create a script for each question, because the reality is you create a script for the questions, you rehearse it, and when you communicate it in front of the recruiter, The recruiter gets an understanding that you have come rehearsed and it looks artificial. So, to ensure that the process of communication is smooth, transparent, as well as there's no artificiality involved, we just had certain pointers, and during the mock interviews, we used to build on those pointers and communicate relatively effectively. So, when it comes to interviews, we also need to present our story in a superlative manner, and these pointers enabled us to do that. Also, many a times we recorded the mock interviews and we used to view the videos of those mock interviews so that we ourselves know where we have made the mistake. Because many a times when we just get oral feedback, it's going to be something which will be difficult for us to imbibe. When we go through the video, we are absolutely sure that we have made a mistake somewhere, and that too with proof, and it enables us to take the part to course correction much more effectively. So we had multiple sessions, that is with me and my friend. There were several sessions pertaining to the mock interviews that we diligently went through, and I was happy that both of us secured an excellent job opportunity for each one of us within a matter of a couple of months. And I'm sure that a lot of credit pertaining to this can go for the mock interviews that we went into. So I would advise all you job seekers to undergo mock interviews, identify someone within your family or possibly friends who can help you in the overall process, create a list of questions, try to simulate difficult scenarios, and create pointers on which you can elaborate. Please don't create a script. Please don't rehearse a script and go in front of the interviewer, because let me tell you, the interviewer is smart enough to understand that you have memorized a certain script and are coming and just blurting it out. So please don't portray yourself in such a manner, because artificiality or being fake is not appreciated as a part of the job search or interview process. So I hope that the points which I've shared with you would be of value, and my best wishes to you to undergo these mock interviews and make the best of it and succeed in your job search process. All the very best.